We've run various projects to work on our business at Alto, and one of the projects that I felt would be worth sharing with people was our culture project. I decided to work out like an 8-step guide to creating your own culture or codifying your own culture within your business. The first thing to do is define the importance of company culture. Company culture, it refers to shared values and beliefs. Culture affects behaviour, employee satisfaction, productivity, and ultimately the success of your business. It's not just a buzzword. We've heard people describe culture as like the soft part of the business. I see the whole thing around culture as something that is profitable for your business. You have to speak to your team and then work out and define culture for you and for them. The next thing to do is clarifying what company culture means to you and your company. We have 3 core values of being supportive, committed, and authentic. And it took us a long time, we reckon about 125 man hours, and speaking to the entire business before we came up with core values. Core values are not just 3 words on a wall. You need to define expressions of each value. You've got expectations of the values. Sure, you're going to have to introduce your team to these and discuss them, and then as the business owner or the management team or the leadership team, you need to live these values. We always say that it's the nature and depth of the relationships that we forge with each other and with our clients, with our suppliers, is kind of what sets us apart. And that can't come about unless you discuss it and have core values that you can speak around and work around. You want specific outcomes that you want to achieve from defining a culture and having core values. The 4 that Alto chose is probably the best way to share it. We chose fulfillment. Alto decided, well, we want a place where we want to come and work. We want to feel like we've contributed. At the end of the day, you walk out fulfilled. Increased profit, a little bit of a no-brainer. Obviously, everybody's in business to make money. Investment can be made in all aspects of the business. If we invest in the business in the right ways, it increases the experience not only for our team, it's for our clients and our suppliers as well. This is an interesting one. Freedom to choose sounds a bit wide in terms of like a goal, but in the UK, people throughout their working life typically will change careers 5 to 7 times. The most common reason for people leaving their business is that they get frustration and they're disillusioned. Out of the freedom to choose outcome, we allow our team to pick their projects. We also say that no function or position in the business is for life. If you feel that you've learned how to do that and you want to move into another area of the business, then teach somebody else how to do it and move on. Instead of making a career change by moving organizations, you can make a career change by moving roles, departments. The last one is ability to scale. We're a business of 12 people and we've got this curiosity about being a bigger business. We really enjoy the culture with 12 people. What would it be like with 100 people or more, Hopefully that'll give you some examples of identifying desired outcomes and identifying your desired outcomes. Things like attracting and retaining customers, increasing your profit, as I spoke about, improving efficiency, and personal development. Number 4, determine your current culture. That's the fun one. What's the existing culture within your business? So if you've never determined it, you need to. The exercise that I found really useful for this was what I would term as a reverse brainstorm. So if you can think of things that aren't good cultures and then look for the antidote, then that'll help you possibly determine your current culture, but then also move on to the next part of the project, which is to actually determine and set your core values. There are millions of different ways people can behave, I think, but there are only a relatively small amount of values that people can operate within. So what you've got to do is write down every value that you uphold within your business, and then start to work out, or what one of those values is core. Write down every value. Keep the values that you chose that were not core, because they can help you. You can use those other values to actually create what I would term as expressions and expectations of your core values. Number 6, defining those core values clearly. You want to try and distill that down to one word. It makes it more simple, it makes it much easier, and that's why we at Alto have got our core values as supportive, committed and authentic. To define our core values clearly, we've then got expressions and expectations. So expressions and expectations, if we look at the table, in the middle here we've got the core value of authentic, and we've got an expression of being authentic. In order to be authentic, you need to be open. And what's the expectation? It's being open to new ideas. So not being closed off and things like that. Interestingly, if you look at the table, that all these other words, or some of these words, you'll see could be values, and they were the other values that we had within our business, and we used these values to construct these expressions and expectations. One of the things that I would always say about it is that it's an ever-moving target. You should always be careful about what you do with your core values, but it may be that as the business grows and changes, maybe one of your core values or one of your expressions and expectations of your core values will change. Once you've got your core values and your culture, you can use the culture to develop the culture. You can use the culture to learn the culture. Once you've defined your core values, you've got your expressions and expectations, it's implement and live the culture. It's the hardest and most fun thing to do, and seeing the culture in action, it's so empowering for everybody to see it. There are so many projects that get shipwrecked on the way to Implementation Island, and I urge you to sail all the way and land on that island. I think we codified our culture about 2 years ago. It's a constant conversation. I think it's so important to not use it as a tool to beat somebody over the head with. Culture should influence your decisions. What I've seen in our businesses, people make decisions that will never break the business because they're operating within the framework of our core values and our culture. You'll use and operate your core values and your culture in meetings, in interactions, and these are not just with the team, these are with clients, these are with suppliers, and they're just with people in your life. You grow like the folk you bide with, which is a Scottish expression. So you grow to be like the people that you live with, or you grow to be like the people you work with. So you need to set the example. The final step for me is empower everyone to uphold the culture. It's not just for me as the business owner or somebody in the leadership team to crack a whip and say you must. It's empowering everybody. The best example I can think of this is after we implemented our culture project, I had one of the newest team members in our business come to me and speak up and share their point of view about how they felt that something that I had implemented as the business owner wasn't quite working for the business. We actually looked at it and it was like, you're right, that doesn't work. One of the newest people in the organization was able to speak to the founder and business owner and say something's wrong with what you've implemented, and we were able to use the culture to actually get a better result for the business. In terms of like empowering everybody to uphold the culture, it's about decision making. It's about using the culture in every aspect of decision making within your business. And if you do that every day, it just becomes muscle memory. It becomes something that you do. Encourage all your team members to be ambassadors for your culture, ambassadors for your business. I want to just go back on something that I've spoke about in previous videos about cultural profit and culture equals profit. How can doing something as soft as culture, which is not soft, it's actually a very strategic part of your business, how can that be profitable for your business? Every business can make what I would term as a margin. So you spend less money than you make. Every business makes a margin. That's simple. But how do you multiply that margin into profit? Well, there are loads of aspects, but one of the aspects is having a great culture within your business, or having a codified culture within your business. Having a great culture for your employees and for your clients and your suppliers will create innovation. It will create a much better feeling within your business. and it'll create profit. The margin that you make, you can then suddenly say, well, we can charge much more for our product because people want to be part of it. So for me, investing in a culture, it's not just a nice to have, it's a strategic play for the long-term success of your business. And in today's world, it's competitive out there, so you need to work on things that can set you apart from the competition.